I have information that will lead to the arrest of Bill and Hillary Clinton, along with Hunter and Joe Biden. Also Pete Buttigieg. Although, to be fair, his is an obscenity law that's been on the state's law books since 1896, so I don't think that one will stick.
Row. Dude. We have 3 right now.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So, hello people. Welcome. You know who he is.
Or do you?
Yeah, we don't know who he is.
Now would be a great time to have had that V monologue memorized.
Yeah. I mean, that would have definitely been way more entertaining. No, I'm just kidding. That intro was pretty cool.
Well, we failed you.
It's alright. We will not fail the American people.
Or this city.
I did not sleep with that woman.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman. It just depends on what your definition of the word is. Some legal wizardry right there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, a lot of people always forget that he was actually impeached, but the thing is, it was, the same as Trump's. He was impeached by, the House, and, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It didn't stick, so they had to acquit.
Yeah, but although it's like, man.
It did stick to the dress, though.
Oh. That took me a second to get. You dirty bitch. Okay, so this is I Told You So.
Yeah, so the purpose of this one is going to be, we're going to make some predictions.
And we will see.
About the coming months and years. And the whole point of this is just so we can look back and say, I told you so. Or we told you so.
Yeah, not the...
Or maybe we're totally wrong. And frankly, I hope I am.
Alex Jones is right a lot of the time. I'm just going to say it. I hate to say it, actually, because he's fucking nuts. But he is right a lot.
Some of the time.
Except for the Sandy Hook thing. That shit was really bad.
Yeah, that was really bad.
Actually, I mean, did they ever come out with anybody, any 100% like proof on what he was saying? Like, I know he's Alex Jones. When he was talking about Sandy Hook, he recanted a statement. Do you not remember that?
Yeah, I know. You said, I thought you were asking like if they got anything to substantiate it. I'm like, no.
Well, no, yeah, that's what I meant. But I feel like that's why he.
Yeah, that one was a little
far-fetched.
Even I was like, I mean, I'm all for sharing information and theories, but you have to state them as theories.
Right, David Hogg. Just kidding.
What? What about David Hogg?
Just theories. You know how he's a crisis actor? That's what a lot of people have said because I can't remember where I saw this, but they mentioned... Or not mentioned, but it was like a video, and it was at another school shooting, and he was there. Like, kind of looks similar, but you can't really tell.
Well, I could tell you from the first time I heard him speak that he was a trained activist.
Yeah.
I mean, that much was obvious, and then he became an activist, and I feel for the kid, but what a smug little fuck.
Smug little bastard.
I mean, I wish I could remember what show it was he was on.
Son of a bitch.
And then that picture of him.
Yeah, I was like, that looks like fucking Hitler. I mean, come on, dude. Seriously.
Well, no, I mean it was a fist. You can't see it because it's behind the monkey. But
I know, but still,
it's a fist. But again, it's like
Mein Kampf.
And we lost him.
Yeah. Oh, we lost the third one a while back.
Oh, I know.
Anyway, so
Which, by the way, you don't hear that much out of him, or that. I always forget the girl's name that was part of that trio from.
Selena Gomez.
No, that would be a singer.
It's not Selena Gomez. It's a Gomez.
Is it?
Yes, oh. She's a Gomez.
Somebody Gomez.
Oh my gosh, Selena Gomez.
Man, don't be hating on Selena Gomez.
Oh, I don't even know who she is.
I was proud of her. She was another Disney kid, but she got out and didn't get hooked. At least not to my knowledge, she didn't.
Dude, I don't care what anyone says. You ever see iCarly?
I haven't watched it, but I know. I know of it.
I didn't watch it. My girlfriend back in 2010 watched that shit, and there was this girl on there named Sam, and she was the blonde, and she wasn't like, you remember
Yeah, I know who Miranda Cosgrove is.
okay, so not her, but her best friend in the show.
Yeah, I don't know
she
who
was
that
hot
is.
as shit. Well, I mean, not in the show because she was a kid, but
I was gonna say,
she took some pictures.
You're getting into some Alex Jones territory there.
She was taking some racy pictures, you know, and she got kicked off of Disney for it. She was just in her underwear and stuff like that. I mean, it is Disney.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty.
You think
I don't
pretty
know, but I mean they're pretty strict with their code of conduct when you work for them.
Right.
Interesting fact: did you know that Tim Allen was actually the first actor that Disney hired that was a felon in his past?
Oh yeah, coke dealer, right? Or
No,
he
I
was
think
caught with
I
coke
think
or
it was
something.
just a DUI. I think. I'm not sure that, or maybe it was drug related, but they had a strict policy of not employing felons.
Well, I mean, right?
Well, yeah, but that includes things like that does include things like nonviolent drug offenses, and they actually changed that rule so that he could be in the Santa Claus.
Oh, dude, fantastic movie.
Oh, fucking great!
Tim Allen was the greatest thing they ever
Yeah,
gave a second chance to.
I mean the second one was a piece of shit, and I haven't even seen the third one.
Yeah, I didn't care for the second one.
I just know that Martin Short was in it, and it should have been good, but
Oh yeah, because was Tim Allen in the second one?
yeah, he was in all three. But
Oh gosh. Yeah.
speaking of which, did you ever watch Law and Order SVU?
No, I can't stand cop shows except for Dexter.
So, but that's the only Law and Order that I could really stand. Not least of which because of Ice-T and Detective Stabler. I always liked watching him just get so pissed off and just beating the shit out of some guys. But anyway, Martin
This motherfucker.
Oh, that was Ice-T. I was like, that's not what Detective Stabler sounded like.
I don't know.
Ice-T is just like, this motherfucker right here.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's a network show. He can't cuss, right?
Yeah. Still, he was cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, Martin Short did a guest star role on that where he played he was a rapist. But he was creepy as fuck. Like, if you can find the episode and watch it, like, the last line...
Did he sniff people's hair?
No, I mean, he... Testament to how good of an actor he was, like, because he threw his voice in it, and, like, I'm trying to remember, because it's been so long since I watched it, but I remember, like, it gave me it made me uncomfortable. Like, he's in the cell after they catch him, but he's basically, like, he's playing a character, right? His character is playing a character to try to hide the fact that he's, like, you know, a serial rapist and murderer.
Yeah.
But then, like, they get him to confess because they catch him, and then he does, and then as the detectives are walking away, he throws his voice like he does when he's, I guess, like, when he's rapey. And he's just like, best sex I ever had. I can't do it.
And he threw it?
Like, he threw his voice, like he changed it.
That's wild.
I'm like, fuck, that's creepy. That's creepy as hell.
Alright, so... I told you so. Let's get to this.
Right.
We keep getting people...
So, it looks as though Joe Biden has won the presidency. There's some lawsuits pending, but for right now, based on electoral votes, it looks like...
I believe Michigan is in the process of recount.
Yeah, but they were going to do that anyway, because they
Right.
were within 0.5%.
Yeah, and someone actually corrected me on that. Not all states have that. All states are different.
No, but a lot of them do, because Georgia has it as well.
Yeah, and if anyone actually forgets that the race between Bush Jr. and what was it,
Al
Al
Gore.
Gore, they had to recount that too, and Bush Jr. ended up winning because
So,
of
funny
it.
story there. They
And that was
actually
Democrats again.
they actually never finished that recount.
Oh no!
No,
Why? Because he was just way ahead.
no. I'm trying to remember.
I can't remember. I was not political.
There was I'm trying to remember the name of the group. It was a right wing group, but it basically, and again, it's all very. They were protesting and this, that, and the other, and it's my understanding that they basically just ended up giving it to Bush to avoid trouble.
Oh, gotcha. Because it was like seemingly
like
really,
it was gonna get. It could potentially get rowdy.
Which goes into that's a perfect segue into what I want to say is who was it? Michigan. Did you hear about the 6,000 votes?
Yep. You told me about it actually.
Yeah. So there were 6,000 votes in one county alone. That it was a computer error.
Yep.
And they switched from Biden or Trump to Biden.
Yep.
And the thing is, 47 counties.
I thought it was 32.
I thought it was 30. I keep hearing different
Several
numbers.
counties use that same
a lot,
software.
and they use that same software, so that same software could have the same glitch.
Yeah,
so,
and they're investigating it.
Yeah, and then
That's what I keep saying. People on both sides are like, well, this is it. I'm like, listen, they filed the lawsuits. They're investigating it. It'll come out.
The thing is, though, it's like, I know it's time consuming, but the
Very.
thing is, already this fucking election has been time consuming. It should have already been announced. It should have already been done.
Well,
like, why did the votes all of a sudden, like, Trump was ahead in many many swing states, and then all of a sudden at 4 a.m. when everyone's asleep,
well,
they
this
take
is
a giant leap.
this is where so it can be explained, but here's in the interest of
mail-in ballots.
Well, yeah, but not only that. So like, I'm trying to remember who said it. It was somebody on Joe Rogan's podcast, but he was like, okay, so if nothing, let's say that after everything happens, nothing malevolent happened, what can we still learn from this election? It's like, okay, some of the states failed miserably in foresight because it's like, okay, you have a pandemic, you know that your state has already really increased, depending on the state, you greatly increased the ability and amount of mail-in ballots. Why in God's name would you not change the rules to where you can start counting them before Election Day? I mean, really? And here's the other thing. Speaking of the Bush-Gore election and this election, it's 2020. Why are we still using paper ballots that require a signature?
I mean,
It's like Indiana had its votes in like 3 hours.
yeah, and boom, 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 it was done. And
Voting machines are...
Texas was quick, and Texas was pretty split, and they had
Especially some
it done
counties.
fast.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
do they use voting machines? I believe they do.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's just, I mean, you can't really sway those. It prints a ticket and it's done. You can't.
Well,
change
and this is
that.
what a lot of people get wrong. So
Maybe, I don't know.
So here's the thing, and I could be wrong, but the voting machine is not connected to any sort of, it's not connected to the internet.
No, yeah, it's completely separate. It's
It
just all on
holds
its
the
own.
records, and then they plug that in to a, and it all just gets, yeah.
Shoots out, and then it's calculated automatically. And it's
Yeah,
like,
because
oh,
they had
60%.
voting machines in Indiana before the internet, I believe.
I know in 2016 that was the first election I voted in, so we had them then.
They had them in 08 too.
It was so nice. It was just,
Ever since I've voted, they've had them, and it's like I remember my first election. I was like, oh, this is easy.
right, Ben. What movie are you talking about, buddy? He said, "What movie is this?"
What movie? This? Or this?
I'm assuming it was something we were talking about. He might have come in on a wrong.
Oh, maybe my Martin Short spiel.
Possibly. Oh, Santa Claus. The
Santa
too.
Claus?
That's probably what we were talking about that you're referring to.
Probably.
But another thing I was going to point out was excuse me. I gotta stop saying So I don't know how true this is, but there are apparently UPS United States Postal Workers that are coming forward and saying that ballots that were sent in afterwards, they were told to post date them the day before November 3rd.
Yeah.
The thing is that, well, apparently this is according to Rudy Giuliani. We'll see. You know, if they have something in court that holds up, they've got their evidence. But if it doesn't, that's the thing. You go to court to find stuff out, and if you don't have anything, you're going to look like an
This
idiot.
is where Trump is shooting himself in the foot, though, because, okay, let's pretend for a second that Trump wasn't talking out of his ass for the past 4 years.
Yeah.
These allegations would be taken a lot more seriously.
Anyway, keep going.
4. What? Oh. Where?
Well, there was 4.
Oh, damn it. Anyway, I was like, what, four more years? No. But arguably, if Trump hadn't been talking out of his ass for the past 4 years, or three and a half, whatever, he arguably wouldn't have lost that election. And I still maintain, had it not been for COVID, he wouldn't have lost.
I don't think he would have lost simply just because of these melon ballots.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
That and really...
Oh, yes, yeah, I get
Yeah.
you now. Because the thing is, it wouldn't have been...
Well, and I believe I said it on the podcast.
They had voting early. Like, that
Yeah.
was such a tremendous relief. Like, And, just like that's the way it should be, But the thing is, they need those machines like we have here in Indiana.
Well, and I think I said it on the.
Fucking paper ballots, man. That shit is
That's ridiculous.
stupid.
It's
Paper
2020.
ballots. I mean, why are we doing paper ballots? And then the thing is, they discredited the Sharpie thing. I don't know if that's true or not. It does say on it, don't use one. But they're like, oh, blah, blah. There was a couple people that I was watching Crowder's live cast, and he said there was a couple people who called in, and they checked their voter registration, and they went in and they were told to use a Sharpie, and they checked the registration, and it says invalid. So, I don't know if that's true. There could just be people calling in.
And plus, there's a lot of really stupid people out there.
Right.
Who you can look them dead in the eye and say, hey, don't use a Sharpie. And they bring a Sharpie. I mean...
That's my point. Or it's like, hey, I've got my own pen. It's black. We're good. Black or red.
And I remember I was watching one news report about that, and they were saying it's like, and voters are free to bring their own pens.
Come prepared. For one, I mean, with everything going on, why don't you have your own pen?
Oh, man, I got into... Speaking of coming prepared. So, I'm going to get off on a little bit of a tangent, but it pertains to what we're talking about, but it's
don't
a little
go
bit...
too far, dude. We just had 6 at one time, so keep going.
Oh, okay. So, I touched on this a little bit on the last podcast, but I've been listening to Jordan Peterson a lot.
Oh, big shocker there.
I know, right?
No, I like
well,
Jordan
his
Peterson.
whole... Well, it's not his whole shtick, but...
Ben, can you hear me just fine? But anyway, continue.
Oh, what did he say?
He said he came in during the movie reference, so that makes
Oh,
sense.
well, we still don't know which one. So, but, where was I? Okay, so one of his things is...
Jordan Peterson.
Yes. One of his things is, he postulates that one of the reasons we're so unhappy in the West is because, for the past probably 100 or so years, we've been fed this, diet of all this focus on rights and liberties, but nobody really talks about the responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
And his whole thing is like, that's where you find purpose, and purpose is where you find meaning, and meaning is where you find happiness, like true happiness. So voting. Especially this election, it's like everybody keeps talking about how, your right to vote and your right to participate in the democratic process, which we all have. But that has some strings attached to it, meaning there are certain things that you have to do in order to vote. And there's a deadline that you have 4 years to prepare for.
Every time.
I did not understand why they felt the need to extend that deadline. Well, I do. It's because so I believe I said this on the first or second podcast. I said if they extend voting and do the thing where they mail everybody out a ballot, the Democrats are going to win. Because statistically, well, I mean, I did. I did. I mean, and I'm pretty sure it was on this podcast, but I've been saying it forever, so I may not remember.
Sure we said it in a previous one.
I think it was in the first one, actually.
Possibly.
Yeah, I might go back and check.
It was one of the debates, for sure.
Yeah, somebody fact check me on that.
100 or so years of bullshit.
How so?
100 or so years of bullshit. Not quite sure we get the reference.
Yeah, not 100% sure.
My brother.
Oh. Anyway, where was I? So extending the deadline and all that.
Yeah.
And then plus, I could have told you this whole like mailing people an unsolicited ballot, because if you request a ballot, that's totally different.
Because isn't it the absentee ballots? Because when you get them, they are you send in something.
Yes,
you send your ID. What do you send in?
I'm not sure. I've never done it.
I'm pretty sure.
I think you have to fill out a form.
You fill out a form and you send that in, and then they send you something back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's obviously a little more safer. I can't think of the big word. Anyway, so
well, it prevents voter fraud.
Talking Jake.
What?
Ben Kaufman said you always lose track of talking.
I know.
I try to keep him in line. But the thing is, though, if he says something interesting, we just go off on
There's
tangents.
a squirrel over there too. But so yeah.
I gotta get my.
I was having a conversation with somebody, and this person's from Canada, so sometimes I have to, because it is a little bit different here.
Yeah.
The thought,
They're
like the
missing
thought
free
process
speech.
is a little bit different. What?
I'm just kidding. I would say they're missing free speech. This is when it's nice for you to hear me in the headphones, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you have your thing turned up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, I can hear you. Well, no, but it's funny you mentioned free speech, because I mean, it can be argued
They
that
have selective speech.
well, no other country in the world has free speech like we do.
Oh, I know.
Where it's
say
not
whatever you
it's
want.
not a government granted right. It's like that's all fine and good to say we have free speech, but the government, I mean, Bill C-16, which made Jordan Peterson famous, you know, that proves that the Canadian government at least can potentially compel or eliminate speech.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, that one was forced use of speech, compelled speech, but they could just as easily censor because they have much stricter hate speech laws up in Canada too.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't understand that. Like,
I understand it, but again,
but it's just a slippery slope.
But we're Americans though, so we just think about it differently because we're raised that way.
That's true.
You know, at least we used to be raised that way, not so much anymore. But
Man, that burp did not taste good.
well, it was a
I
White
had
Claw.
ribs for lunch.
Oh, I thought it was the White Claw.
The ribs. No, I made some ribs and they're really good.
So anyway, my point being, everybody has the right to vote, absolutely, and this is what kills me, especially when I'm talking to liberals, is nobody's disputing that. You know, nobody's saying that the 75-year-old lady this is the first time she's voting, nobody took away her right to vote ever. You know, like that didn't happen. And then I hear all these things like, well, you know, there are places that try to restrict access. It's like, how? By requiring a photo ID? It's 2020.
Why don't you have an ID?
Exactly. That's my point. Well, not everybody drives. I'm like, okay, get a state ID. It's like $10. I don't even think it's that much.
I do want to point something out. And I don't care what you lean, left, right, straight. You know, just kidding.
Fagalus?
Like you said, it's 2020. Why is that such a problem with people? And the thing is, you got one party, I'm going to point this out, you got one party that's against voter ID. You got one party that's for mail-in ballots. You got one party for, like, all kinds of crazy stuff. And it's like, listen, dude, that if you want a fair election, if you want a fairy election,
you have it in California.
Just kidding. Anyway, so it just doesn't make any sense. It's like you got to... I don't know.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. It's like there's nothing wrong with having an ID and showing an ID. Now the thing is, I had to scan my ID.
Yeah.
And it brought me up in a system. And she goes, "Yep. Are you blah blah blah?" And I was like, "I look like him, right?"
Gee, what does the card say?
Yeah. You know, and then I had to sign. Did we sign something? Yeah. Electronic signature.
Yeah, but it matched which I think the electronic signature is a moot point the way we do it because they scan my license.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, I mean, hell, when I sign on those things, it looks like I'm writing with a...
Yeah, I know. It's like nobody's signature matches.
Did you sign with your finger? I can't remember.
No, they had the...
Yeah, they had the stylus.
Did they give you a Q-tip too?
No, yeah, they gave me a Q-tip to push
It's funny, they gave it to me, I'm like, what's this for? And I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty smart.
Yeah, but I'm just like, seriously, like, you could just have a hand sanitizer station
You know what? I prefer the Q-tip, though. I really do. The funny thing is, they handed it to me. I'm like, well, I already used it this morning, but I mean, I guess. I'm like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, Jake, after he was done, he was like, now I can hear you.
Yep. And it sounds like freedom.
Freedom! Sorry, my voice is really cracky today.
Anyway.
Well,
and it does make perfect sense because when your party platform is convincing your people that they're victims and that they're being oppressed,
mm-hmm.
you kind of want them to think that they're victims and being oppressed.
Right. Oh, and by the way, if anyone watching has a difference of opinion, please comment. We would love to talk with you, or anyone who just wants to comment.
And we want to talk civilly to you.
Yes, yeah. No, there's no need to
we will have a discussion. This is never going to be a shouting match unless he says something completely fucking stupid.
Exactly. Now, neither of us really... He's more center, I'm more center right, so...
It depends on the issue. In some ways, I'm obnoxiously left.
Yeah,
but even when I'm obnoxiously left, I don't... And this is partially what I was talking about. Even when I'm obnoxiously left, don't forget about the responsibility part of it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That was a good point.
Because it's like, yes, you have... I believe you have the right, if you're an adult in this country, you have the right to do pretty much whatever you want. So long as you're not harming other people. But that doesn't mean you're not going to have any consequences for it.
I mean, obviously we've heard all kinds of stuff in, superhero movies, great power, great responsibility. But it's like, it makes more sense to just put that on there because then you're like, oh, okay, so I have to be responsible for this human being. I have kids, so obviously I made that decision to have kids, so I have to take care of them, and it's not an easy fucking job. I'm just
Well,
gonna
and
tell you
here's the
people
thing,
out
though.
there.
You might not have even made that decision. Like, I mean, you did.
Yes, yes.
But theoretically, but it's like, okay, what do you do? But you did make the decision to do the activity that led to the possibility of having that kid.
Oh, I had them on purpose.
Well, I know you did. I'm just saying, like, it could have easily. I mean, it's not mechanically difficult to
Right.
make a baby.
I always hit my mark. Bullseye. What was that? What was that Daredevil? That was such a terrible movie. The show. Have you?
Show was good.
Okay, sorry people, but the
Show was
Daredevil
awesome.
was amazing.
The movie, Colin Farrell,
He's
Bullseye.
so good. Yeah. Anyway, so back to the lecture and
Now back to the lecture, anyway. And you know, it's like I'm always saying, you have to remember the responsibility, eh?
this dude makes me drink.
Oh no, but so I always point because this example is ridiculous, and I actually had a conversation about a friend that was with a friend, not about a friend. But I won't go into that because, frankly, I don't remember everything that was said. But basically, I make the case, and it's a ridiculous case. Like, I have the right in this country to walk out of my house and go to Walmart or Kroger or wherever wearing a tube top and Daisy Dukes.
You're brave, but you have the right.
But if I do that, I can't get mad at other people for giving me weird looks because I know what I'm doing.
Exactly. You'll end up on the site, people of Walmart.
You know, I can't claim victim status for doing something like that and people having I would say, an appropriate reaction.
Yeah.
Because it's not what you would typically see a 33-year-old man in Indiana wearing.
Yeah, because we're definitely a very conservative state.
Well, yeah, and I mean, you know that. It's not like it's a surprise. Now, Venice Beach,
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
they're going to be like, why are you wearing so many clothes, honey? It's hot out.
You do that very well.
I've had some practice.
Goodness.
But you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
actually, you know what? I'll tell you that conversation because... but basically...
Excuse me. Whatever you have to say to me, you can say in front of it. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, whatever you can say. So it's about the yoga pants.
Oh, shit. Fuck.
No, I made
Dude, those were the greatest things ever invented.
Okay,
Oh
so
my
you're
gosh.
actually...
Not
You're
for
actually...
men, though. Just let's just say that. Man, like... I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything because I'm pretty sure my wife's watching. But yoga pants are amazing. She wears them and they're nice.
You're going into what I was basically going into.
Segue into your way.
So it was basically making the same point, you know, and I basically said it's like, you know, when a woman wears yoga pants in public, like, yes, they're comfortable. I get that.
Okay. Yeah.
But you know what you're doing because baggy sweatpants are comfortable too. Like, and basically the point I was making is if you wear yoga pants in public, especially if they're the good kind, you all know what I mean. Like, you know what you're doing.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And
Now, and this is where it went awry, because I was like, you cannot get mad if you wear yoga pants in public and people check out your ass. What you can get mad at is somebody saying something about it.
yes, or trying to touch you.
But you just, yeah, that's...
Stupid.
There's a line there, and that's crossing it. But my point is, okay, you purposefully wear something that accentuates your figure, let's say, let's keep it PG, in a way that people are going to notice.
You got that ass, ma.
You know, like, you know what you're doing. And then it was funny because, like, she kept making point after point after point. And then finally, I was basically like, so just wear sweats. Like, when you go to the grocery store, it's no big deal.
It's not that hard.
And then she was like, they're not cute. And I'm like, thank you.
Bingo.
That's all I wanted. I just wanted you to admit that that's
Who is that?
It's just a friend of mine.
Okay.
Nobody's special.
Oh, you have friends who are girls?
I do have friends.
You have friends? I have friends too. No, I'm just
Some of them are girls. I see a lot of girls. See a lot of guys too.
Coach Klein?
And just last night I saw my mama and Coach Klein at the same time.
But mama said. But mama said.
Mama,
That's how all these kids being homeschooled are going to be.
mama said alligators is ornery because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush. That's some high quality H2O.
This is good shit. I think mine's better though. It's spiked water.
Is that water from a glacier?
Yes. It's the coldest you'll ever drink.
Vicky Valacourt showed me her boobies, and I like them too.
Stoner Bros presents that ass.
Yeah.
You damn right, man. You ask her, you like, you got an inhaler? Why? Because you got that asthma. I didn't say that joke earlier.
That
but,
is
maybe someone
terrible.
would've got it.
That is terrible.
It's terrible, but it's mine. Actually, my buddy gave that to me a long time ago. Not asthma.
He gave you asthma?
He gave me asthma. Fucking bastard. No, we were touching on something, and I had something to say, and now I completely lost on it.
Well, it just goes back to the Eliza Schlesinger joke where it's like, if the guy's hot, it's flirting. If the guy's ugly, then it's, catcalling.
It's rapey.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not fair.
No, it goes with guys, too.
Yeah, that's true, because I've definitely had some ugly girls hit on me.
Yeah, and it's kind of like...
I feel more guilty.
I know, but because...
Like I'm like a fucking 10. I'm like a solid, like, 9.5. No, it's solid, like, 6. So,
solid 6.
I'll drop it down, like it's hot. But, anyway, so... It is rapey, but the thing is, as long as they don't touch you, I mean, it just sounds rapey.
Well, no, I always just, I kind of have a personal mantra when it comes to, it's like, I always assume that it's going to sound rapey, so I just don't say it.
Well, that's the thing. Repeat it to yourself a couple times in your head. Yeah. And you say it and it still sounds rapey. No, I'm just kidding.
He's like, yep, that's still different.
I want to wear your skin.
I don't. I need a lampshade.
No, that reminds me of Family Guy. That's where I was. I want to wear your skin. When
I forget that. What was
Chris was dancing naked like Buffalo Bill, Buffalo Bob, whatever his name is.
That's right.
And he's like, "Would you do me? I'd do me." Chris, man, Seth Green's fucking. I love Seth Green.
I can't do a good Christian impression unless I'm saying "Go Dad." He's like,
"Go Dad,
Go Dad."
I can't really do it.
And it's not very good.
I can kind of do Stewie. Stuart Gilligan Griffin here.
Oh, that's not bad.
I want to first place Eric. Oh my gosh! I want a first place plane ticket. First place. Oh my god. First class.
First class.
Yeah.
First
You
class.
remember that? He's like, I want a first class plane ticket, and I want a Happy Meal, and if there's pickles on that cheeseburger, God help you. That did not sound like Stewie. That sounded like some fucking, I don't know. Anyway, or Cleveland. No. That's all I can do from him.
The only thing I can do with his, oh, that's nasty.
Oh, Peter, that's nasty.
Quagmire, you are what the Spaniards call El Terrible.
Never been with a Spanish woman before. Olay.
Isn't there an O in country? Nope.
I don't even know. So anyway, we got
Hella sidetracked. We're supposed to be making predictions about the next one.
Oh, yeah. So,
well, we were talking about voter ID, and I'll just close with this. It's like, this whole election, and this election proves that the responsibility that's given to voters can affect an election. Because it's like I said, if they expand, which I don't have a problem with absentee or mail-in voting or even early voting. It's the unsolicited ballots, because it completely eliminated the responsibility, or eliminated a lot, because I guess you could theoretically still ignore it and throw it away. But I said it, conservatives are statistically much more likely to physically go to the polls and vote. Not all liberals, and I can't...
That was in our podcast, not this last one, but the one before that we were talking about that.
Yeah.
How the Republicans will always get their asses out and go.
Oh, yeah, they have a plan. Like, I knew what my plan was,
You can't... I mean, yeah, you can somebody can fuck up the vote from that, but, that's obviously election interference or voter fraud, but, like, the mail-in ballots, man, those are just...
An unsolicited mail-in ballot.
Yeah, well, and there's nothing on it. You fill out your information,
and plus it's...
I haven't seen one.
Well, and I'll just say this, too. My father's been dead for 2 years.
Did he vote?
No. But he still gets mail.
Well, yeah, of course. At my place at work, the original owner, he passed away some years ago. I want to say probably at least 8 years ago, maybe 9 years ago. Anyway, so he gets calls all the time, and they're like, yeah, we need to speak to so-and-so, and we're just like, yeah, well, you're going to need a long-distance plan for that,
Well, and okay, so we're going to...
Oh, shit, we're breaking out the conspiracy hat.
So, I just want
They're dropping like flies.
oh, damn, we got the hat out. I just want to give some food for thought here. Because I know it was time for the census.
Food sounds good. You're buying. No, I'm just kidding.
I know it was time for the census. But was it just me, or did it seem like they were really adamant about the census this go around?
Oh yeah. You heard it out of a lot of Democrats' mouths.
A lot of Democrats' mouths.
But like, it wasn't. Yeah, it was like.
Where did they get the data for those unsolicited mail-in ballots? The census.
Definitely warranted.
I'm just put. It's almost like it was planned. Now I'm not saying they did the. I'm not saying that they. That coronavirus is not an inside job.
No, coronavirus came from another country.
But they definitely took advantage of it, full advantage of it.
I need to borrow the hat for a second. So, this is coming from Alex Jones's mouth, so you obviously know. People like the video. If you like today's video, like the video! Snake Merc.
Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything.
Yes, don't miss a beat. Anyway,
hit that notification bell because you won't be notified otherwise.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a fact because YouTube has completely changed the way they do that.
And we're definitely small enough so they won't censor us right away.
No, not yet.
Well, I mean, we don't really have our views are definitely, pretty fair.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think you could call us an extremist on any level. Certainly not the left.
Anyway, so back to my extremism.
Oh, but I'll save us right now.
Uh-oh.
Joe Biden's awesome. And Kamala Harris is pretty good, too.
Yes.
I can't lie that hard.
I threw up in my mouth. Anyway, so...
and Donald Trump is terrible.
Bad guy.
Orange man bad.
That's the thing, man. Like, you don't have to like the guy. I don't
like him.
I don't care for him, but it's like I said, policy over party.
To a point. Although I will say I've been...
Shut up, you straight ticket son of a bitch.
No, I voted for a Democrat for Attorney General because he wanted to legalize marijuana here.
And this guy doesn't even smoke weed.
Nope,
he does
not
eat edibles. I might get him to eat edible on the podcast one time.
Not going to happen.
All right. If we get to 1,000 subs in the next 2 months, he's eating edibles. And
oh God, don't do that.
Forcing it.
People will do that. Don't. I don't wanna.
We're definitely not popular. We're the dumb kids in class. Anyway, so Alex Jones was talking about. Damn it! I lost my train of thought.
It was somewhere between there and here.
Yeah,
somewhere between your head and your ass.
Yeah. We got one like. Like it up, people.
I might be kind of retarded.
I say that all the time. I'll be playing with my buddies on Call of Duty.
I've seen the clip. It's so funny. I think Joe was high as fuck.
Are you talking about when he said it again?
Yeah, no, when he said it originally.
Dude.
Because wasn't it...
He just like... Huh?
But wasn't it Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, and Eddie Bravo?
I think so.
I think so.
That was a good lineup, though. But the second one with Tim Dillon was fantastic.
I know. I still need to watch it. I gave up on the Kanye one.
I tried. I tried. It was like 3 hours of just nonsense.
I saw the greatest meme on Facebook, though, when the whole Nevada thing was going on. It was like, I think Kanye won Nevada, and they don't know how to tell us.
Kanye, though, man. Hey, seriously, though?
You know what? More power to him.
He got some fucking votes.
He did. And you know what? I'm like, you know what? Next election, if I were him, I'd have just waited.
Oh, yeah.
I would have just announced my candidacy.
Well, he was a write-in, so people had to physically...
He got some votes, though. Kanye. Get a hold of the Libertarian National Convention.
But have some actual things to say.
Yeah, get a speechwriter.
Get some
and get your wife up there for criminal justice reform because she's actually done some stuff.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? She's nut. I mean, she was essentially like nutty on a TV show, but then all of a sudden now she's like actually doing like good work.
Well, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. She was playing a character.
Yeah. I think it's kind of like Donald Trump. He's playing a character.
Oh, I said that ages ago. See, people thought Donald Trump was just this like out of control lunatic / moron, and I'm like, no.
Just character.
You got but he wasn't
playing one.
He wasn't given credit enough for the genius of what he was doing. See, and again, this is gonna sound, but Ben will back me up here. Trump is a
Shapiro for people. Who
no, but I wish.
Just kidding.
Trump was very much a student of pro wrestling in terms of being able to talk, get people to hate him, and get people to like him, all at the same time.
Listen. Finish your thought. I'm going to remember what I'm saying.
Well, so much so, I'd like to point out that you know who Vince McMahon is.
Oh, yeah.
His wife is in Trump's cabinet. Linda McMahon is in the Trump cabinet.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
She actually left the WWE board to serve on his cabinet. And I believe she's the secretary.
It's fucking business. That's what people need to realize. You know?
Well, but I think I forget her official title, but it's not Secretary of, it might be Secretary of Labor. Hang on, I'll look that up. But yeah, Trump was featured on television for quite a bit of his adult life, so he's very aware of how to portray a character.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Yeah, and again, I'd like to remind everybody that Trump was involved in a WrestleMania, so
he's a big
hardcore
wrestling nerd, which
hardcore.
is okay because
but
cool.
that meme when he first started running
I don't know anything about it.
Well, but that meme of Trump beating up the CNN logo,
that was hilarious.
But that was from WrestleMania 23,
right?
Like that was where the footage was from.
I don't know that it was from that, but I'm just assuming.
Yeah, it was Bobby Lashley representing Donald Trump versus Umaga representing Mr. McMahon in a hair versus hair match. As Vince McMahon got his head shaved. I was really hoping Donald would lose that one.
Dude, I thought Trump's hair was fake until he went on, who was it? He went on one of the late night show guys, and like he fucked up his hair. I think it was Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, I forgot about
that.
Yep, that's her. She's the director or administrator of the SBA, the Small Business Administration. She definitely does not look
like she's married to fucking Vince McMahon. Like, she's not, like, hot or anything like that, but, like, I imagine she was good in back in the day, you know.
Damn, she was born and she's fucking 72.
She's old.
She's 72.
Well, Vince McMahon's fucking 70.
I know, but she doesn't look 72.
Yeah, because of the fucking facelifts.
Well, yeah, but, I mean...
Look at that shit, son.
You know, like maybe 58.
She definitely has bath salts. I don't even know where I was going with that.
But, yeah, so Linda McMahon is the administrator of the Small Business Administration.
Wrestling fan.
Do what?
Stoner Bro said wrestling fan. He's definitely the wrestling fan. Hey, you got a little buddy.
Oh yeah, he was trying to fight me earlier.
Oh, fuck that spider.
Like,
I don't do spiders. The little ones I don't care, but the big ones, you know.
This little dude.
Fuck those bitches.
Yeah, this thing couldn't bite me if it wanted to.
Kind of like a daddy long leg.
Yep, can't bite you if they want to. You're threatening me though.
Yeah, FYI, we're in a garage. So, support the channel.
Yeah. We're poor like that.
Well, I mean, it is an okay house with an okay garage.
It's a very nice house. It's a very nice house.
Yeah, for CP Morgan. Everyone's always like, oh, blah, 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 about our houses over here. And I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I'm warm in the winter and I'm cool in the summer.
Are they seriously like complaining about the house?
Well, there was a few flaws. Like there's some cracks and whatnot here and there, you know, because of. Yeah. But the thing is,
these things were like thrown up in a hurry.
Well, yeah, and on top of that, they don't use 4x4s anymore or 8x8s anymore for structural. They just put together fucking like 4 or 5 2x4s. It works, but the thing is, that's when you get creaky.
They won't be doing that anymore.
Why?
Cost of lumber.
Oh yeah.
There's residential houses going up there using metal studs now.
Dude, my deck in the back is a 10 by 20 with a roof, and with all material included was roughly around $1,400.
Yeah, but that was before the price spikes.
That was before. This.
Yeah, your shelf.
The wood here that is like newer looking versus that, like that stuff's treated. That's meant to be
right.
But the stuff that's not treated, just that little bit of wood, $100. And
yeah, you were telling me.
It's literally just the 2x4s and 2x6s.
Yep.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, $100 for fucking like this and this. I was like, I literally have a giant deck out back that I built. I'm crafty, bitch. I lost my train of thought on the Alex Jones thing.
Something about Alex Jones.
Anyway, so what other predictions do we have?
I said this previously on the podcast. I said if Biden wins, you will be shocked how quickly COVID will disappear from the news.
We already knew that.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't believe me, and I'm like, oh, that's why I keep saying it, because like I want people to watch for it.
Though, like for the past 2 weeks,
Yeah, it's
have
already.
you heard of COVID?
I mean, a little bit here and
little
there,
bit, but the
but
thing is,
even
It was from Biden's mouth. You're gonna.
well, no, it's still
someone's
reported
gonna
on.
be sitting
But
at
I'll tell
your
you what,
table
what's
missing
been
people.
what's been on, like, take Facebook for example. What's been on the news feed more than anything? So like, just like a quick scroll.
Watch The Social Dilemma on Netflix and fucking.
Yeah,
visit
I
your
need
Facebook.
to. But anything pertaining to the election is like, check your election results facts. There was a meme.
Don't delete it. Just delete the app. Anyway.
Right. No, but there was a meme that was a joke. Like, it was an obvious joke. And then underneath it was like, this post might contain information that's not factual. And I'm like, but it's pertaining to the election. So now it's all about the election fraud. It's like, I thought we were in a pandemic.
Huh. They
I was
know what they want to send.
Oh, they know, because it's the being in the pandemic served the purpose of getting Biden elected.
Yeah, you were definitely right on that one.
Oh,
Easily. But the thing is, the way they did it, though, like, it just looks sus as fuck. So the thing is,
you know where I learned that skill from? Star Wars Episode 1.
I don't remember. It's been a long time. With Anakin.
They used a phony stage trade war to get Palpatine elected to Chancellor.
You've watched that a lot, haven't you?
No, I realized when I was younger, like when it first came out, I found it boring. Because I was like, I don't care about the Trade Federation, that's lame. And then I'm like, and then by the time Revenge of the Sith comes out, you're like, oh, that genius little bastard.
Speaking of Star Wars, I think that a solo movie should come out about Plagueis the Wise. I think that would be fantastic because of his knowledge.
That would be fantastic, but you know what they're going to do instead?
Something stupid. We're gonna do a fucking thing about Baby Yoda.
Oh no, that would be cool. No, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
Saving the fucking.
They're gonna
franchise.
do. I still haven't watched it. I
don't care for it. I'm
Really?
not gonna say I have. I don't care for it. That's wrong words. I have not watched it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't watched it yet. I need to, because I hear good things.
I didn't really care for Star Wars. I like Star Trek.
Well, but
better.
knowing Disney, they're gonna give a standalone movie to that pink-haired lady from The Last Jedi.
Yeah, because they gotta be sensitive.
I was having another conversation with a friend, and I'm not gonna out her by name, but she's
Throw us a like, people,
she's gay, and
if you want.
do
Anyway.
I? Throw us a
she's
like.
gay.
So she's gay, but anyway, she's pretty. I don't want to say active, but she's pretty passionate about things like gay rights and representation.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't really ever get into it, but sometimes I have to like point out to her, it's like, yeah, but the things you're pointing out are actually not all that inclusive. So for example, what was she was talking about the latest Beauty and the Beast, where I guess the LeFou character was gay, which is fine, but here's my shtick. Totally makes sense for LeFou to be gay because he's always hanging around Gaston, and I mean, it would add a layer to the character, in my opinion. But in the movie, they don't touch on this until the very end, and it's like this quick cut of him, and I don't remember if he kisses the dude, but he's dancing with a guy. I think there might be a quick peck, I don't remember. But I'm like, that's supposed to be representation?
Oh, yeah, it's like...
That's like a split second. That's nothing.
Yeah, he wants.
That's not even good pandering. And then... But then that prompted it. I'm like, oh, and don't even get me started. I'm like, how are you not pissed at... He's just hanging around. How are you not pissed at Star Wars and the nonsense they pulled? It's like, what do you mean? I was like, okay, none of these... There are no gay characters in Star Wars except for the two girls that kiss real quick in the background when everyone's celebrating the defeat of the First Order.
They were just throwing it in to make
It's
people
pandering.
That's all it is. It's like, look, dude, if you have a good movie, You don't need any of that bullshit. You don't need to add anything. Like, now the thing is, if it fits into the storyline,
Right.
sure. But like to just throw it in just to make every group happy.
Well, even throwing it in for representation, like honest representation is one thing, but we all know, like we know what you're doing.
We know.
We get it. You can have very compelling gay characters. It's not hard because you just have to write a good character.
Yeah.
And depending on the context of the story, their sexuality can be integral to the plot or it can just be a layer to the character. But the point is, it's a well-written character, just like you can have well-written characters of any gender or any ethnicity or any species for that matter. It just has to be a well-written, well-rounded character.
It's not that hard. They made a fucking dog ruler of the world in Dragon Ball. I mean, God, come on.
Pretty sure that was a wish.
You think so?
That's the prevailing theory.
I never thought about it. Well, you had talking fucking animals in it anyway. Only some, though. It's like, you had normal dogs, but then you had Mr. Wolfie, Oh, that little boy saved us all.
By the way, you're familiar with the plot hole, the dinosaur plot hole in Dragon Ball, right?
Maybe.
So Toriyama messed up.
Oh yeah.
When he
forgets all the time.
I know. When he introduces Beerus the Destroyer, and Whis tells him that the Saiyans are on Earth.
Oh, and he destroyed the dinosaurs.
He's like, that's the planet that had those dinosaurs, those rude dinosaurs on it. But they're still there.
Why did that not make sense to me then?
It had to be pointed out to me too.
You got to think though, like their Earth time or their Earth years is not the same as ours. I believe they're more advanced in the future, so they probably kind of are doing what we did. We're bringing back stuff.
We're officially overthinking that. Or well, somebody could have
absolutely.
Somebody could have used the Dragon Balls.
Damn dragon! Oh, I wish for dinosaurs to be like, yeah, I want fucking giant things that eat me.
John Hammond would have done it.
He's a son of a bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Oh, fuck that dude. Him and his goddamn fucking little sapling. What was that thing?
The mosquito and the amber.
Yeah, amber. That looked like sapling. It was dried.
Did you know that amber is technically a plastic? It's a naturally occurring plastic, but it fits in the definition of a plastic. I did not. I learned that just last week.
Amber is plastic?
Technically, it's a plastic. It's not a synthetic plastic like we think of it. But molecularly speaking...
I had to repeat that.
Molecularly speaking...
I have a prediction right now. I have to pee really bad.
I predict that you will...
I predict I'm going to go to the bathroom here soon and go potty.
I predict that you will drain that snake.
Indeed, and I will grab another beer. Well, I don't even call that beer.
Another White Claw?
Yeah, shut up. Don't tell anybody. Yeah, we're not a paid promotion. Dude.
Not anymore.
We need a paid promotion. Who paid for it? Boger Cabinetry. So, do you have any other outstanding predictions?
I predict that Biden will put us back in the Paris Accord.
Yeah, and that's going to cost a couple trillion.
I predict there's going to be a massive tax hike.
I mean, yeah, that's
now. Fortunately,
he already said that he already wanted to rescind Trump taxes. So
yeah, but he said he wasn't going to raise your taxes.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and here's the thing that annoys me about that. So
I love when people. Yeah, go ahead.
So Biden's whole shtick, and he said this during the debate, whether or not he's going to actually do it remains to be seen. But he said he was going to raise the corporate tax rate, and that he was going to raise the tax rate on people making, I think it was over $400,000. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing, though. Raising the tax rate doesn't actually do shit because you can just claim deductions. But this is what I'm talking about. This is why I don't like Democrats, because they say one thing and completely mean another. He's saying he's going to raise taxes on the rich, but he won't unless he closes tax loopholes.
Yep.
Now, they say things like, we're going to close the tax loopholes, but they don't. Because then they would end up taxing themselves.
No, because that's a lot of information to go over, and that's going to cost a lot of money with lawyers going over it and fixing it.
Well, I always said if I was elected president tomorrow, one of the first things I would do Well, I would see if it was mathematically plausible to get rid of the income tax completely.
I would fucking start growing some plants with some Gatorade. You know, it has electrolytes in it. I mean, that's what you do. That's how you grow plants up big and strong. You fucking pour Gatorade on it.
makes the plants grow.
Yeah, it's got electrolytes. Anyway, continue.
But if it weren't like mathematically feasible, I would put in place a fair tax. Everybody pays the same percentage, no deductions, none of that shit.
Why does it matter how much more you make? You know, that's just not. Look,
what do you mean?
Your fair tax, like what you're talking about. Why does it? Why is everyone so gung ho on how much you make that people have to take more? It's like what you're saying. It should just be a set tax. What do they call that? Flat tax.
Flat tax.
Flat tax.
Flat tax or fair tax, same.
Yeah, same.
Well,
meaning,
I'd even be okay with a fair in the form of a percentage because let's be real. If I'm a millionaire, I can afford to pay a little bit more.
You can, but should you have to? I don't believe so. And
well,
as a libertarian...
Well, but here's the thing, though. What you're taxing is income.
I was putting words in his mouth. I shouldn't. Anyway.
Yeah, he thought you had me there. Now, I'd like to remind everyone I said the first thing I would try to do is see if it was mathematically plausible to get rid of the income tax because I believe it's immoral.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you're taxing income...
So is personal property tax. Just saying. We could have fixed that in Indiana, but we're too stupid.
Yeah, I'm not going to...
Business property tax, I understand.
I don't.
Well...
I'm kidding.
Yeah, because you're a business owner. Never mind. Honestly, if I was a business owner, yeah, I'll probably be right there with you. So... Honestly, yeah, dude. Just tax in general sucks. But the thing is,
it sucks, but it's necessary because we do need some.
How do we
stuff.
fucking get this stuff?
That's where I.
Government spending is a problem.
That's the biggest because that's the only reason why getting rid of the income tax wouldn't be mathematically plausible is because they spend too much damn money.
Yeah, and it's because they're too worried about fucking wood woven. What is it? Wood blown glass. Fucking champagne glasses at fucking dinners, you know. I mean, come on, dude. Go get some fucking Dixie cups and you'll be all right.
But here's the thing, though. You don't even need Dixie cups.
No,
you can still get some nice.
No, these bitches can drink out of their hands.
So I was having a conversation again with my business partner from Canada, and we were talking about this, and he said,
"Canada."
Oh, Canada. What was I gonna say? So we were talking about like road maintenance. Mm-hmm. And I told him, I said, well, the thing of it is it costs way too much. And he's like, well, it's expensive. I'm like, I understand that it's expensive. But I guarantee, like, I know there's an engineering firm in Indiana that invented a thing that repairs roads for like a fifth of the cost and about a third of the time than the way they do it now, where they bring out 3 different trucks. One of them's a water truck. One of them has diamond bits that they like have to wet cut in, and it makes it all ground up, and it has a waste product. They have to the contaminated water just leaks out everywhere. And but there's an engineering firm right here in Indiana that has this thing called the flatliner. It's an attachment that they put on it's one of those tractors that they use in construction all the time. But it's a rotating wheel with carbide teeth, and it just scrapes down bumps in the road. Takes care of it like that.
That's genius.
Yeah, and they cannot get the state to adopt it.
Why aren't we funding this?
Because they're too cheap.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, they could fund that and save so much more money over time. People don't look at the long game.
But, well, no. Here's what it really is people can't get kickbacks out of that.
Yeah, that's fucking a big one.
Because here's the thing, like, and I'm not an expert on this. If there's anybody that knows anything about the cost of building a road, correct me or corroborate or correct me on this. I suspect what happens is, okay, first of all, we all know that there are certain construction companies that are already in cahoots, or maybe the relationship is genuine, but they have a relationship with the state.
Oh, absolutely.
So they typically get these contracts. Mm-hmm. Those contracts are likely inflated. And money exchanges hands, and the right people get the right thing, and the right people inspect the right stuff, and they keep their mouths shut, and this, that, and the other.
That brings me to a movie, Shawshank Redemption. Do you remember when one of the I can't remember who he was, if he was an official or whatever he was, but his wife made a pie for the prison guy, or for the prison what they call the leaders.
The warden?
The prison warden. Jesus, I'm dumb. Anyway, so he made him a pie, and it was from his wife, and he goes, blah, 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 and he opens it up, and there's like an envelope with all kinds of money in it.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, could be the prison warden, could be the mayor of Moscow's wife.
Yeah. You didn't hear that from us. Just saying. Forget the camera's right there.
Yeah.
I'm so used to it being on top of my monitor because that's when I stream on Twitch. Leonidas8709. If you want to watch some Call of Duty or some Among Us or any games.
So you really need to get which Assassin's Creed is it where you can play as a Spartan?
What?
Yeah, I forget. It's not the most recent one came out was like Valhalla, but I think it was the one before that.
I don't know. I stopped playing them after Revelations. Well, that's not true. I played Black Flag. I didn't care for it.
That's the pirate one, right?
Yeah, I hated it. I didn't like the boats. It was dumb. I was like, why does this matter with Assassin's Creed? Anyway,
yeah, they're getting a little out there.
yeah, but I heard Valhalla looks amazing.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with assassins.
Well, the thing is, you know,
arguably neither do Spartans, but
no. But the thing is, just the originals. 1 was okay. 2 was amazing. Have you played the older ones?
Nope, I need to.
Do you have a PlayStation?
Yeah.
3?
No.
PlayStation 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's backwards compatible with PlayStation 3. Fix that shit.
I know, that was some nonsense.
But anyway, I was going to say, if you did, I have all those games for PlayStation 3. So.
My issue wasn't not having the games. My issue was not having the time.
Yeah, I know.
I'm still playing Twilight Princess. I just started it.
What do you have?
I've got so many systems. I just don't have time.
What systems do you have?
Let me think. Okay. So I got...
I'm assuming you have a GameCube.
Yeah, so I'm never going to get rid of my GameCube, man. I'm going to play that thing till it dies.
So you were a GameCube boy, dude. I was
It was a good system. It just had shitty
Nintendo
games.
Was the best games.
I didn't play Super Nintendo all that much.
You played quite a bit with me because you fucking had my system for like 3 months.
I did not. That wasn't me.
Yeah, it was you.
Nope.
Yeah, your sister zip tied the fucking cords in the back, and we had to cut them with a cable so I could take my fucking Super Nintendo home.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was 5th grade. It was a long fucking time ago. We're 33.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, you're 33.
So I've got I still have my NES, but it doesn't work. But I got the little like compact one with like the 600 games. Like it has 600 games and 570 of them are crap.
And they're not real.
Yeah, I know. There's so many bootleg games on there.
Yeah, it's fucking Mario Brothers, but they have ninja swords. Like
that
legit.
Sounds awesome.
I have one up there.
Well, a lot of them are Japanese beta games, which I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I got excited because one of it said it had Mortal Kombat 4 on there. I was like, "What?" It's not the Mortal Kombat 4 you're thinking of.
All right.
What was it? You asked me what systems I have, so I've got that little NES thing. I've got Nintendo 64, GameCube.
Oh.
I've got a Wii, and I have a Switch that I haven't even turned on. And I have a DS. A DS Lite.
Well, you let me know if you want to sell that Switch.
No.
Actually, I mean, I'll probably just go buy one here soon.
And then I've got a PS2 and a PS4. And I feel
but
like
you don't have PS3. What the fuck, dude? I got all kinds of games. You just need to find some time. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, I figure I can pick up a PS3.
Oh, cheap.
Yeah.
Dirt cheap.
Especially now that the PS5 is out. Unless it's backward compatible.
I'm not getting one. I'm not getting an Xbox, nothing. I've got my PC. I'm going to get a new graphics card soon, so...
Yeah, you switched over to PC.
Well, I've always been a PC... I mean, besides, like... Shit, I've had PCs since... No. I gamed on PC slightly the same as console because I really wouldn't count that because I was using ROMs and emulators. But I played a lot of Roller Coaster Tycoon back in the day.
So speaking of ROMs and emulators, I had like the serious hankering to play Warcraft 2.
Oh god.
That was a great game, man.
I never could get into it.
It's a great game, but anyway, and like I couldn't find it forever because I used to play it on my mom's old Macintosh, like the old Macintosh. But I couldn't find it, and then finally I found some sites that had the Flash ROMs, but they kept getting taken off. So I actually found if you go on, it's not even Blizzard Entertainment, it's some other site, but you can legally like download it.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and like they charge you a little bit of a fee, but I think it was only like $2. Like it wasn't.
That ain't shit.
No, it's nothing. And now I can play Warcraft 2 whenever I want.
Well, I mean, technically, any ROM you download if you have the physical copy, it's not illegal. You know that? As long as you have the physical copy of the game, you can have the ROM on your PC without it being illegal.
But if you have the physical copy, why would you need the ROM?
Because it's more easy to play on a
True.
PC, than to break out your system and try to look at shit on a fucking HD TV that looks like dog shit when you have a fucking really good emulator that you can fix up the bit rate and
True.
make it look
True.
better. Eagle Eye. That's what I use, and it makes everything pretty.
So you have any predictions?
Yeah, I predict that the Democratic Party is going to get away with this, and we are going to see. I don't think necessarily we're going to have a recession because, the Senate, I'm pretty sure they're going to stay Republican.
Yeah, but the stock market is going to take a dip.
The stock market's going to take a dip, so anybody with
gun sales are going to go
401ks. Oh yeah, gun sales are going up because the thing is people are scared.
Anytime a Democrat gets elected, gun sales go up.
And
So.
what the fuck is it with Democrats in office and gas prices go up by like fucking $1.50, $2? Like when
Probably just has more to do with the market than anything.
well,
Uncertainty in the market.
I know, but I mean, it's just like every time, like literally statistically.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say statistically. Someone fact check me. I'm not sure if I'm correct or not.
Yeah, we don't have Jamie.
Yeah, we don't have a Jamie. So gas prices are higher, when we have because you got to think, we're not really fighting for oil. I mean, we did just become the #1 exporter, I believe,
Of natural
and
gas.
we are actually of natural gas, and then we are completely energy independent, and we start drilling on our own territory, which everyone's all against. But I'm like, look, dude.
Oh, I'd like to point out that Obama lifted the ban on offshore drilling. Just putting it out there.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I know, and I give him credit for that when it happened. And then the BP oil spill happened.
Yeah, but the thing is, though.
What was that? Deepwater Horizon that was called, right? I think.
I can't remember. I remember hearing about that, though.
It was the BP oil spill.
Everybody's, the fish are going to die. I'm like, yeah.
A lot of fish did die.
I'm like, you fucking think? They're dying right now as we speak.
It generally happens. What are we looking at?
Oh, I'm just looking. It got really quiet in here for a second. Awkward silence.
So,
anyway.
Here's a prediction that's going to make some of my more liberal-leaning friends angry, but
Sorry.
I just want to say I told you so. I predict you are going to see virtually nothing happen.
No.
In terms of...
There's going to be no rights, anything. Like, you already have everything. Continue.
Well, I was going to say, you're not going to see... I predict you're not going to see anything in the way of increased rights for gays and trans people.
Biden's not for them. He's a panderer.
Yeah, I mean, but you're not going to see anything of substance on immigration reform. The racial tension is going to not disappear from the news, but it's definitely not going to be as prevalent on the news.
Right.
It's still going to be happening at the same rates, but it's just not going to be covered like it was under the Trump administration.
No.
But if you pay attention to if you want to exercise this, pay attention to local news outlets in places where these past few have happened. Like what was making mainstream news in the Trump administration. Like if you want to do the work, which I know probably nobody will, but look up what cities those happened in and pay attention every once in a while to their local news cycles, and you will see
a completely different story.
Well, you'll see the same stuff. You'll see the same stuff coming out of there. Like it's not going to change. And also, so I think it's going to be interesting to see if Biden and Harris hold up their campaign promise to legalize to decriminalize marijuana federally.
Good luck with that.
Oh no, I mean they can do it.
Well, they have to get the votes for it.
No.
How are they going to executive order?
I don't even think it's executive. I think you just there's a couple ways they can do it. They can pass legislation to legalize it, but the easiest way to do it is just reclassify it.
Oh yeah, it's not a harmful drug. It's not.
Yeah, they could just reclassify it.
I mean, shit, dude. So like, if they just, just a standard tax on that would, just your standard sales tax on that would be incredible.
Yeah, and I don't think you would get too much resistance on. But they're gonna blame. Here's what they're gonna do, because this is the trick they like to use. So Biden and Harris said, they both said, it's on record, it's on video, you can Google it. They both said that they wanted to legalize marijuana and release nonviolent drug offenders from prison and expunge their records.
Absolutely.
Now,
They should backtrack too.
That's what they're talking about.
They
So
should,
if you have possession charge on your record, if they do what they say they're going to do, that's going to be expunged. Here's the only problem with that. I was thinking about this a couple weeks ago. That's going to cause, hopefully it's short, but that's going to cause some negative things to happen in the market, because think about it. So you've got all happening at the same time. You got a bunch of people that are going to be getting out of prison all at the same time. And you're going to have a bunch of people that were unemployable, not unemployable, but had trouble getting employment because they were felons, that are now no longer felons. And you're also going to have these same people that were having trouble getting housing because they were felons. And we already have a lack of inventory in housing in a lot of places. So you're going to see some market forces at work here. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't actually do it.
No, they're not.
But they'll find some way to blame the Republicans in the Senate.
We came into such bad turmoil. The country's so split, and it's like, that's why
So if you want to prove me wrong, just pay attention. Look for anything, and it's probably going to originate from the House, I would expect. Look for legislation that legalizes marijuana. And even if some Republicans resisted it, I think a lot of them have enough sense to not fight against that.
Yeah, it's not like it's not like they're trying to fucking legalize, like...
Well, because you've even got Dan Crenshaw, who isn't 100% on board, but he still said that he would not... it would depend on what's in the bill.
Well, he definitely seems more for personal freedom, and honestly, that's one of those things.
Yeah. Well, they brought this up when he was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he kind of seemed like from a legal standpoint he would support legalization, but from his own personal views he doesn't agree with it. But
it's
again,
like Shapiro, he's like, I don't have any problem with it, but he goes,
now the libertarian side of me says, as long as you're not harming anybody, you can go ahead and do it. Me personally, I think marijuana is bad. I think it's bad.
I love Ben Shapiro, though. He's so funny.
I said this before. I love how he's gotten more in touch with a sense of humor, and I think it's served him well.
Hilarious. Like, he's definitely funny. It's like...
It's in the name Boy Scouts.
I went on a binge for like 2 weeks and watched nothing but his videos online. And I'm not talking like his podcast.
That must have been very sad for you.
All of his lectures.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And then I was just like, I need more, and I ran out. I was like, nah.
So here's a fun fact about Ben Shapiro, who I've gone I'm not trying to bring up a hot button topic, but it just kind of illustrates. So I've at different points in my life, I've been on both sides of the abortion argument. Mm-hmm. And I was finally firmly on the libertarian, fairly pro-choice side for the most part. And then I'm listening to Ben Shapiro.
It's okay to be wrong.
Well, no, but here's the funny story. So then I'm listening to Ben Shapiro, and I believe he was on the Rubin Report. Mm-hmm. And then he brings up, he's like, well, it really depends on how you're framing it. So are we talking about in the context of morality? Because, I mean, there's some debate there. It depends on what you believe. But if we're talking about the Constitution, then it's pretty clear. And I'm like, what the hell does it mean by that? The Constitution protects life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, all life.
And he said, now, the gray area is, does the Constitution apply to a person that is unborn? And that's a question that's not been answered. Me, personally, I view that as yes. And this is Ben Shapiro talking. And I'm like, damn it. Now I have to think some more. Because it's a good point. I'm not saying he's right, but it's a good point.
Right.
If the Constitution of the United States protects life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, but you're always going to get people, well, that's not the context. That was written, hundreds of years ago.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about the Constitution is it doesn't matter what you think the context was.
It's timeless.
I mean, it's written very frankly. You know that you get into the whole Second Amendment thing here.
Yeah,
But
I'm very vocal with my abortion views, but the thing is, I've always said I don't care for it, but the thing is, if you need it, you need it, but don't use it as a birth control. It's not birth control.
right, there's plenty of birth control.
There's plenty of birth
there.
control out there. Just make better choices. Like, and I know accidents happen, but the thing is, it's like that's a tough one. But I just, I can't get down
basically
with it.
my public stance on abortion.
Mother's life, rape, incest.
Yeah, and
I get it.
well, but and here's the thing: my public stance on abortion always has been. It's like,
Plan B.
listen, what
Plan B.
Plan B? No, I mean my plan A when it comes to the abortion argument is like, hey, I'm a guy. I'm never gonna be in that situation, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
And in that sense, I'm pro-choice. But I like to think about it, and I like a lot of the hard to discuss topics. We're framing the question wrong. See, we're arguing about whether abortion is morally wrong or not. When I'm like, okay, well, before we can even decide this, we have to all agree on what constitutes, at what point is this considered a life scientifically, which we don't know.
Right.
Because right now it's a matter of opinion. And I know some people are like, well, I know it's a life immediately. And some people are like, well, is it a life if it can't survive outside the womb by itself, unassisted?
The thing is, though, I mean, when we're all born, we can't survive.
Well, what I mean, I know.
I understand what you're saying. Incubators and on.
Well, even incubators. So I guess like I know
life
years ago I had kind of come up with and it's a very arbitrary and gray area standard, but it's like, could this baby survive outside of the womb even with mechanical assistance? Because there is a point where even with a mechanical assistance, it will not survive outside of the womb. But that's pretty early. With advances in technology, I mean, I think I read one where like a baby was born 3 months premature and lived.
Well, born at 3 months or born 3 months?
No, 3 months premature. So it's 6 months.
Dude, my son was born 2 months early? 3 months? Well, it was 2 months early.
Yeah, but I mean...
But he came out 6 pounds, 2 ounces. He was big.
Yeah.
For a preemie.
But I mean with technology, it's like...
It's nothing. They hook them up, they clean them up, and they just keep them alive.
Yep.
Keep them warm. Sit on them.
Yep. So anyway, I think before you can definitively answer that question, you have to answer first, at what point is this a life as we can all agree, and then we can start to have conversations about the morality of it all.
Well, that's the thing, though, between the left and right and all this stuff. We can't ever just fucking sit down and have a rational conversation. We have to fight.
Well, and no offense on this one, but when it comes to abortion, it seems to me that the conservatives...
Oh, this is the way it is.
Yeah, they're the ones that aren't willing to have it. And I understand why they don't want to have a discussion.
I'm willing to compromise. That's the difference.
Well, the funny thing about abortion is that's one of those things where you
shouldn't compromise.
Yeah, you really shouldn't compromise. If your belief is that life begins at conception, you really shouldn't compromise. Right. So I get it. So, and again, we're arguing about the morality of it. The real question, as far as libertarians go, is does the state have the right to determine whether or not you can do this?
Right.
And I would say no. So in that way, I guess legally I'm pro-choice because I don't think the state has a right. But then Shapiro threw that whole wrench in it, and it's like, well, technically, if they have the duty to protect the right to life of the child, then yes, they do.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like the government can tell you not to stab me.
That argument was great though. He's like,
I'm like,
what? Can I stab you? He goes, I don't have any.
Can I stab you?
I don't have any. I don't want to stab you. I'm just saying,
can I stab you?
That was
why aren't you 60?
Oh my gosh, Ben Shapiro's amazing.
Yeah.
Right, we gotta get wrapping up.
Yeah, I know it's getting late, but
no, not that. My kid won't stay in bed.
Oh.
He's asking for daddy.
Well, but so basically, don't be surprised at all if you don't see any progress in the way of rights for anyone.
No, at all.
Those detention facilities at the border are still going to be there, but they're not going to talk about it.
Nope, it won't be in the news.
Well, as I saw
prediction. Any bad things you see now, whether it be immigration, people at the border, anything like that, it's gonna magically disappear from the news.
Yep, from at least the national news media.
But if these lawsuits don't go through and Biden does become the president,
Which I think he will.
I don't know, dude.
I think Biden won because of the influx of the votes.
I don't believe so. And I'm not saying that because I'm a sore loser.
Trump would have to prove fraud in
because,
4 states.
Yeah, but the thing is, the 4 states that we're talking about are big heavy hitters, and Biden's at 290. So take away those big heavy hitters, he's at like 220, and that puts Trump at 270, 280.
We'll see, but it doesn't help.
Wilson. I don't know.
Was it there's a great meme going around where it's like Bart Simpson and he's like, no more kids in cages, and then Homer comes up and he's like, no more news reports of kids in cages.
Oh yeah, no more riots yet. All right,
no more riots on the news.
All right.
So yeah, you won't. I predict that it will be 4 years of a lot of ceremonial things, but not a whole lot of substantial things.
So exactly. So for the next 4 years, if Biden does become president, what's going to happen is, I'm backing him up on this right now, is that he is like, you're not going to everyone's going to come together, and but the thing is, you're going to hear a lot of people coming together and this and that. You're going to hear testimonials, but is anything really going to be done? Probably not.
No. So 4 years from now, I want to rewatch this like a time capsule.
Yes, just like Mr. Beast did.
And then we'll say Crenshaw 2024.
Nah.
I hope.
I don't necessarily like him, man. He flip-flopped too many times.
You don't like Crenshaw?
I like him, but we'll have to go into another one.
Yeah.
But we should definitely have one about games one night, talking about nostalgia, video games, whatnot.
Oh, yeah, because we got some
I know
stories.
We could have just kept talking on that right there earlier.
Yeah.
All right, well, people, we're going to wrap it up. Life, kids, pursuit of happiness.
But consistent for all of you.
Exactly. I'm not sure if we missed what was it, our Saturday
We were
podcast.
late. This is the makeup.
Yeah, this is the makeup. But tell us if you prefer the shorter podcasts, or the 3.5 hour ones.
Yeah, screw you. We're going with 3.5 hours.
Just let us know. But other than that, you have any concluding remarks?
Testicles. That is all.
Bullshit. We had 20 playbacks.
Did we really?
We did. 20 playbacks, 2 can come raise. Peace out, everybody.
1 like, you cheap bastards.
Yeah, I know. Like the video.
Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.